think that it started off as this romantic idea. We really wanted to simplify our lives.
And the one thing I did not want to get rid of was my good coffee.
I think that there could be improvements in the design for sure.
They gave it to us for just an amazing price.
Hey guys, we're the Thompsons. We have rebuilt this 2001 Airstream. We've been living in this for 4 months and we've been full-time RVers for almost 2 years. Come on inside. Welcome to our Airstream. So when we designed this floor plan, we really wanted the kitchen to be basically the majority of it because I cook all the time. We installed an electric 2-burner stove. We did these epoxy countertops. I wanted a big sink because we wash a lot of dishes. Over here's our fridge and our oven, and then all of this cabinet space. Our countertops they're made to look like Carrara marble, but it's epoxy. So that is a 2-part, I guess it's a resin polymer that you mix together. And then we added color to do the variations. And we were really pleased with how it turned out. In designing this Airstream, I wanted everything up here to be very minimal so that it didn't feel like it encroached on your space coming in because we don't have a lot of that. And we put in these open shelves that just have like our glassware, and these actually can ride up here and they don't break. And some vertical space for our kitchen utensils with our storage. These are residential cabinets and drawers, so they are full extension, and that allows us to have a lot more room than like a typical RV would. That's our junk drawer. The garbage slides out. We have this other slide out cabinet here. So I didn't love our propane oven we had in our previous RV, and we installed this electric oven instead, and we love it. It can toast, it can air fry, it can do all the things, and it can fit like a big roasting chicken or whatever other kind of things you want to put in there. And then the fridge, we have these refrigerator drawers that they hold so much. And then underneath our mattress is also another 12-volt refrigerator. So that's where our freezer space is, and just like our extra storage for like meats and stuff.
So when we decided to go full time, you get rid of so much stuff. And the one thing I did not want to get rid of was my good coffee. So we actually had this in our last rig. And when we decided to come to the Airstream, a lot of people figured that we were going to drop this just because how big it was. I wanted to dedicate a space to it. So this is what we ended up. So we have a full espresso bar, grinder, our electric kettle and everything else. And it's something that I enjoy making. She won't get out of bed until I make it. So it's one of those things that works really well. So she wanted to bring along a ton of stuff, but not a huge space in order to put it in. So again, as we built out these cabinets, figuring out what size cabinets we were going to use, I landed on some of these organizers that I knew I wanted to use. And it gave us the ability to have all of our pots and pans. We have a full-size Vitamix blender, our Instant Pot, even a food processor.
In the back of the Airstream, we put our kids' bunks, and we did them long ways so that didn't take up that much of the width of the Airstream. A lot of people like to put the bunks along the side, but we chose to put them in the back. Each kid has full-size twin beds so that they'll kind of grow with the bed, and there's plenty of space back here for both of them. There's a closet here, all of their clothing storage is underneath, and then actually underneath the bottom bunk is like a ton of storage that's accessible from behind the back of the Airstream. I don't know if there's a specific one reason. I think that it started off as this romantic idea. We really wanted to simplify our lives. We wanted to live debt-free. And so we had a 40-foot trailer. And then at some point we thought, well, this is too big. We want to be smaller. And the opportunity just came upon us to purchase this gutted Airstream, and so we went for it.
So we lived in a small house to start with, so it was 1,000 square feet. So we went from that to our last trailer, which was probably 350 square feet. And that was a huge jump because I had a full garage, so I had a lot of tools to get rid of. And again,
and we have 2 kids.
Yes, we have 2 kids, and then I actually run an RV repair, renovation, and solar business on the road. So my truck is pretty much 100% work. So that had some difficulties in that range. But transitioning from the 40-foot trailer into this wasn't nearly as bad as I thought, because we have actually more storage inside this than we actually had in our last one.
Yeah, we designed it exactly how we needed it to be, knowing that we had already lived tiny.
Yeah, so that it honestly, that was a pretty easy transition, going from the 40-footer to the Airstream. And we just wanted to travel quicker. We wanted to go out west. We wanted to get into more state parks and national parks, and obviously being 27 feet overall, we can just get into a lot more places than we were able to with our last one. So that was definitely the driving factor.
In the bathroom, we wanted to make sure we had a good enough space to shower and put both of our kids. So we built this shower with, we used epoxy again for the walls. And then we did the same with the counter, and this counter goes back really far so that there's plenty of room for me to get ready with this mirror over here. And also someone else could be using the sink if they needed to. The composting toilet is pretty good most of the time. It's worth it when we're off grid and we don't need to worry about black tank storage. But yeah, I think that there could be improvements in the design for sure. We have been battling a fruit fly nightmare with this thing. So I think the jury's out on that. We actually bought this cabinet prefab and then modified it because there's a wheel well right underneath here. So we wanted it to be lifted up, but we also wanted to have a good amount of counter space. So our freshwater tank is 40 gallons, and as long as I'm not taking a shower every day, that'll last us quite a while. Our kids they don't really like showers anyway.
So when you first walk into the door, this is, what we would consider our flex place. So it's a living room, play area, where we eat, where we do some homeschooling if the weather's bad. So my wife wanted to have a nice set of chairs, which sometimes these are great. Sometimes they're honestly just in my way, but it's a great space because it is quick to, move these. And then this whole table, comes up, clicks into place. And then we have a great, seating area for, like I said, doing homeschool or eating meals. So back in the back corner, it was when we built out this pull-out pantry, we were going to have, some dead space. So we decided to use that as kind of like a bookshelf. So we keep, some of my daughter's homeschooling supplies, and then just some of the quick grab books and things like that we, want to be able to get to easy enough. And then our fireplace, this is actually our main source of heat. It's an 1800 watt heater. We do have heat pumps in both of the ACs as well. But we built this entire unit to be all electric. We wanted a window, we didn't have time. We took 3 months to take this from a shell to what you see. So, it was a very, very fast project. But we both really, really enjoy plants. We like, kind of bringing the outside in. And she found this just a super, super neat greenhouse, more or less, that we decided to kind of have as a focal point. So we utilized 2 ACs in this. They're both 13,500 BTU ACs. We only ever run 1 AC because it's more than enough to cool the space. We kind of wanted redundancy just in case we were, out somewhere and, 1 AC dies, that we'll always have a way to cool it down. So there's 2 of those.
Part of what I do is I help people design their own RVs. I create design boards for them and give them shopping lists and everything that they need. So I had a client that came to me and she said, hey, I really want this design for us and our family of 4. We have 2 girls. Can you help me? And so I did. And then we had our consult and she said, yeah, I need to get rid of this Airstream. And I was like, you need to get rid of an Airstream. And so I said, send me all the details. And that's always been kind of my dream. So I sent it all to him and he said, no way, not happening. I don't want to do it. And we had been discussing downsizing now for quite some time. Downsizing again from the 40-foot trailer down to something smaller. And everything just really worked out for us to go there and see the Airstream, and then we negotiated a very good deal.
So we went down to look at it, and I was still very much in the spot of we were more going to help them sell it more than buy it, because I wasn't sure I wanted to take on this level of a project at the time we were. And it kind of presented itself. They wanted it gone, and they gave it to us for just an amazing price. So we bought the shell of this for $1,000. So it was, anybody that knows Airstreams, it was a price to where we couldn't walk away, and we knew we had to turn it into a cool space. And we've actually had the people we bought it from tour it, and they've gotten to see it, and they followed along.
They said, let us buy it back from you.
Yeah. So this is, again, another flex space. Being in 25 feet, we wanted to kind of maximize the flow. So we didn't want to do like a standard bedroom, more walls and everything else, and make it look smaller. So we actually utilize our bed as like a day bed as well. We do sleep this way. We just kind of set the pillows up this, as like our couch. We have storage under that cabinet, storage under here that flips up, and we have all of our shoe storage and everything else are in bins that pull out there. And then down on the front, I have 4 cubes. She has the rest. That's where all of our clothes storage is. And then underneath the bed is where we have our second fridge and freezer. It's just a Dometic, 95-liter fridge and freezer, and tons and tons of storage, just bulk storage, along with all of our solar components that are up on underneath the bed over here. So we have 1,200 watts of solar up on the roof, and as of right now, we have 400 amp hours of lithium, and then Victron components, so a 3,000 watt inverter. It's a multi plus 2. We love it. So it gives us the ability to power everything. Obviously not at the same time, but we can utilize the AC and the smaller things, as long as we don't try to use like the AC and like the oven at the same time. We're pretty good. So this is a full-size residential queen. Just a little bit of that corner's trimmed off for the radius, which is what we've always slept in, even when we had a regular home. We didn't, again, want to dedicate a space to a TV, so we utilize this projector inside and outside. We have a 12-foot screen that we'll put outside to put movies on for the kids, and then I actually have a 60-inch screen that just mounts between 2 hooks up here on the ceiling that gives us the ability to watch TV inside. The cool thing about that one is it's battery powered, and it's also a smart device. So it connects to the internet, and then we can use Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, all that good stuff. So there's no cords, and it's built-in speaker. The most fun part about this entire build was we had complete control over the entire thing. It was a complete empty shell. It didn't have any of the interior skins. It didn't have anything when we bought it. That gave us complete control over the electrical, where outlets were, all of the lighting, even where the ACs are. Everything's been changed from what it was. That's how we were able to design the kitchen how it was, the bathroom how it was, the bunks in the back, all of this. It being able to design a space by yourself is definitely pretty good.
The outside length of the Airstream is 27 feet total length. This is a 2001 Safari model, and this was the 70th anniversary edition. So it was important to us to kind of maintain that a little bit, but we wanted to do some different things. Like we riveted in these mountains here. That was just a vent cover, but we wanted it to look a little bit different. So we run a ProPride hitch on this. The big sale point to that is obviously it tows way better, and there's zero sway. But honestly, the most ridiculous thing that I like about it the most is that when I'm hooked to the truck, I can drop my tailgate down because it adds like a foot of length to it. So it's just awesome for that. I used a Harbor Freight flagpole to throw my Starlink up on the top, kind of for 2 reasons. One, for better reception, and then 2, because my kids were messing with the satellite when I would just put it on the ground. So it was just kind of get it out of sight, out of mind for them, just so they didn't break it. Behind the propane tanks, we actually have, it's called a Blue Tech
water filter. It's 3-part, takes down to like 2 microns, which is great because it's, you know, good for, you know, safe drinking water. On the back of the RV, we have storage that's, you know, just in the bumper itself. It's where I keep like our levelers, hoses, that type of stuff. And then this is like our outside storage. This is underneath the kids' bunks in the back, which is large enough to fit, you know, 4 huge crates, our outdoor mats, you know, tables, and just a lot more like the kids, you know, play stuff. So that's a, you know, it's been a nice space to have. When we decided to go on the road, I had a position. I worked for a municipality. I wasn't able to take that job on the road, so we had to do kind of some soul searching and everything else to figure out how we were going to make money on the road. At the time, I actually had a photography and videography business that was doing really, really well, especially in the wedding space. And this is, you know, end of 2019 going into 2020. And I was actually going to put my notice in January. And COVID hit, they started talking about everything. And so I decided to kind of hold off. And then ultimately, my photography business for the year of 2020 was destroyed because weddings were canceled. So that kind of made me switch gears. And since I have a background in, you know, electrical and mechanical and a lot of different facets, I had a friend that kind of pushed me into like the RV space with, you know, service and inspections. So that's what kind of got me into the RV space. And then from there, we've actually turned it into primarily doing renovations and solar installations.
You can find us on any social media platform by the handle Living Small, Dreaming Big. And Stewart also has, go ahead.
Thompson RV Service. I have a website. I'm not really active on the socials with that one too much.
But they can find you there.
But yes, you can find me.
We're also going to be releasing an RV renovating course here in the next month or two that's going to help people create their own space just like this if they want. All right, thank you for touring our tiny home, and we hope to see you all out on the road.